and there were 4 of us lived very near to the Emperor colony in tents for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and spending anywhere from 12 to 15 hours down on the ice edge. It's quite an experience being in the middle of an emperor penguin colony, filming. Emperors are quite big penguins. When you get down on your knees, they're just about as big as you. It's quite smelly. But it's not as smelly as some other colonies because emperor penguins nest on snow, and also in the spring it's quite cold, so that you don't get everything's frozen solid. And if you're in there and you just stand quietly, then you are quite literally absorbed into the colony. The emperors will come and they will stand right next to you and not pay any attention to you whatsoever. They'll just carry on with their business. And we got some lovely stuff. I mean, it was great in the water. Being in the water with them was fantastic because the visibility was probably 50 metres, 120 feet, just like in a huge swimming pool. And unlike the smaller penguins, emperors are actually quite confident near a diver. So I would be just swimming with the camera in front of me, and the imps would just be coming alongside and cutting across and going into the depths. Filming animals underwater is different from filming them on the surface. When you film them underwater, you have to get much closer to them. If the visibility is 100 feet, I really want to film that animal from 30, 50 feet at the most, in order to get a good clear image. But if you think the right way, if you give off the right vibes, mentally and physically, as soon as you're in the water, then you can make yourself not a threat, but an object of curiosity. And these animals will come out of the blue to have a look at just what it is that's come into their world. Okay, so going out every day in the Pointsir Clipper, which was a 35-foot boat or so, and just cruising around on Monterey Bay. And we had been there 3 days, and we found a pod, and we'd been following it for an hour or so, and they'd just been loafing along. And then suddenly their behaviour changed. Suddenly they started swimming very positively in a direction. So we thought they must be on to something. So we followed in the boat, and they took us right to a grey whale with its calf. And then over the next 6 hours, they hunted down this calf and drowned it and ate it. And we were able to manoeuvre our boat round about the event, keeping a reasonable distance away, but at the same time you could see all that was going on. You could see the different techniques that the killer whales were using to separate the mother from its calf, and eventually they kill it with a combination of probably stress and drowning. They just keep pounding away at the calf. They would take little bites out of its fins. They would, as I say, they would actually swim and land on top of the calf and push it down into the water so that it couldn't breathe properly. And eventually the mother just gave up. She had been pushed away from the calf anyway, and she settled off, and then the calf sank down to the bottom out of sight. And it was a pretty harrowing experience, to be honest. Although, I must admit, it's our job in that case to be the dispassionate observer. We didn't want to make it easier for the killer whales. We didn't want to help the grey whale to escape. We were just there to film. But it was pretty exciting stuff to watch.